Hey guys, it's your favorite Dante here, and today we have Dante versus Kratos, with both of them not holding back. So, a couple rules before we get this match started. We will have Dante in his Devil Trigger form, but some other rules before we really get into it. Dante will not have his crossover scaling. You see, the reason why he won't have it is because it puts him way higher than what his base canon self would have been capable of doing. Him being able to fight against beings that are able to merge Buddhism cosmologies and stuff like that, which consist of forms of time and space and transcending the likes of dimensionality itself here. And in all honesty, I think it would really be unfair if I use this and Kratos has only one crossover with Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so we're gonna skip the origins as usual, because again, these are well-known characters. Everyone knows their stories at this point. Son of Zeus versus the Son of Sparta. Let's begin. So starting off with Kratos, Kratos should easily be into the complex multiversal, the higher ends of complex multiversal, by the way, to possibly knocking at the door or actually at the levels of a hyperversal being. Now, the reason why I say this is because in the God of War cosmology, where there are infinite layered hierarchies, there's always someone at the beginning of these pantheons, mainly the primordials. The primordials embody many concepts, such as Thanatos embodying the concept of death, and Morpheus the embodiment of imagination or dreams itself. Kratos has been able to not only defeat both of these beings, but was able to kill them. And considering the Titans also exist beyond, sorry, not the Titans, the Primordials also exist beyond the likes of time and space itself, and were able to fight in the timeless void, obviously puts that at a fifth dimensional level at the very beginning, right? Then you have the Titans that upscale the gods, and with Uranos actually being able to kill, Kronos being able to kill Uranos. And then obviously you have Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and then for the north side you have Odin and his brothers being able to kill their respective primordials or their respective giants and titans who would scale above the primordials. All right. So with that being said here, Kratos has actually done some pretty incredible feats here. For starters, he was able to actually beat Thor by the end of the game while holding back, mind you, as again, Kratos had a more so mental resolve where he wanted to actually solve this peacefully, which was, in all honesty, kind of one of the dumbest parts about God of War Ragnarok leading up to the end, because it's, you're already there. Might as well just get that sucker over with and just, leave it right there. But again, he was able to beat Thor, who was able to shake all the 9 realms, with Thor actively trying to kill Kratos. And these realms are noted to be infinite in size, and he was also able to crack and splinter the world tree, which actually predates creation itself here, meaning it was above primordials like Zertur, who was able to give stars to the cosmos, and above Ymir, who was able to flood all of creation, which means he was able to flood all 9 infinite universes with his own blood. And yeah, this is because Odin killed him. So yeah, I think that says a lot for the attack potency, right? And keep in mind, Kratos has also been able to lift things like Hyperion's staff, which contains the weight of the infinite universe, defeat characters like Morpheus, who's able to merge all of reality or all of the cosmos within Olympus itself here, which Olympus itself also having infinite, layered hierarchies, and being infinite itself in size, with it scaling to the underworld, which is noted to be infinite. All right. Kratos would also be massively faster than light, as he's been able to react to Helios's light, and even being able to catch characters like Hermes, who's able to react to Helios's light with ease. And this is actually something that was put in the game intentionally. All right. There's also the sheer fact that you have characters like the Valkyries who can cross an infinite amount of distance in order to get to retrieve dead bodies or dead souls and bring them to Valhalla, or at least into Asgard, to be reincarnated into the Einherjar, which are immortal and endless soldiers. Kratos possesses a plethora of weapons back in his day, but unfortunately we're using the current version where he actually has the magical powers and capabilities to use these weapons. Possessing the power of hope, Kratos is now able to summon the Blade of Olympus, a weapon that was actually thought to have been lost to him for years. Lost to the entire fandom for years, but nope. We got it back in God of War Valhalla, right? The Blade of Olympus is like the ultimate god killer. Zeus was able to use this to one-shot the entirety of the Titans and banish them to Tartarus. Like, he straight up just one-shotted these gods, or sorry, these Titans here, who would again upscale the Primordials, and were actually needing both Poseidon and Hades just to jump Atlas by himself here. So again, that says a lot about the Blade of Olympus. The Blades of Chaos would actually upscale Mjolnir, which shook and cracked the World Tree and shook the 9 realms. So again, they would be massively above time and space and above the branches of Yggdrasil, which are pretty much beyond time and space. So, yeah. Then there's the Leviathan Axe, which is noted to be equal to Mjolnir and can freeze lightning, which again is absolutely impressive here. Then you have the Draupnir Spear, which is able to infinitely replicate itself and explode. Yeah, these weapons are pretty overpowered. Yeah, these weapons are some of the best, if you get my drift here, right? And then you also have the sheer fact that Kratos possesses frost magic and fire magic with his weapons. But I think that is going to cover for Kratos here, so let's move on to Dante. Now, Dante should also be into the high complex multiversal to the high hyperversal, or maybe even the baseline hyperversal, excuse me. So why would I put Dante at such a level? Now, again, we are going to be scaling his Devil Trigger form, meaning he would actually massively upscale his base self. Well, for starters, the underworld itself actually contains multiple forms of afterlife, such as Nirvana or Samsara. Samsara is noted to be the wheel of life, the literal embodiment of death and rebirth. Some of the biggest conceptual, I guess you could say fundamental concepts in Buddhism, which again can get you to outer versal, to essentially and possibly even boundless if you want to get it to that tier. But again, Dante doesn't fully scale to this, as it's only one part of Buddhism, which will put it at the hyperversal levels. All right. So yeah, Dante should be strong enough to actually destroy these afterlives as well. And it's actually pretty consistent within the verse here, with beings like Overlords of Chaos, beings like Argosex in their true forms, and even characters like Mundus, who was an infinite void in one of the games here, was able to get ragdolled and eventually beaten by Dante. Like, he's been able to beat these demon lords consistently. Some of these demon lords, like Nightmare, who can not only destroy the underworld, but lift it as well. Keep in mind that the Devil May Cry cosmology actually indicates that the underworld is noted to be infinite in size. And the human world also scales to the underworld, with the underworld having many different forms of time and space, while the human world has, well, our form of time and space and stuff here. Dante himself here has a plethora of weapons, but again, we are going with the current set of weapons. Dante possesses the guns Ebony and Ivory, which are weapons that actually attack on a molecular level. Keep in mind as well, all of Dante's weapons are meant to bypass the durability of these demon lords, with these demon lords having very overpowered regenerative healing factors. And again, Dante has these weapons, and some of them are actually crafted from his own blood itself. Very crazy and very grody, but again, very cool at the same time. Dante has also possessed the, what's it called? I'm trying to think of it. Oh, I think it's called the Devil's Sword as well. It's like a big sword. I want y'all to think the Monster Hunter Greatsword, if you will. It's actually capable of using pyro magic here, with Dante actually being able to use it as more of a defensive weapon and offensive weapon pretty perfectly. And again, I want y'all to think of the Greatsword from Monster Hunter. You can block with it, you can counter with it, and you can attack with it. It's a very perfect and easily dual-purpose sword. Now, next off, we have Dante's main sword, Rebellion. Rebellion is not just some regular or normal blade here. Dante has been able to actually use this blade, and it can actually extend itself like it's Mr. Fantastic or something. Dante being able to use this blade not only prevents him from getting hit or at least attacked by long range, but again, if that sword can stretch to long ranges as well. Rebellion is also capable of being able to match the sword of Yamato. Yamato belongs to Dante's brother, Virgil, who we'll get into, I guess you could say, for the speed category. But again, the Rebellion Blade being able to match Yamato, which is able to split and cut through the fabric of space and time like it's absolutely nothing, again expresses how powerful that Rebellion or Dante's sword is. Then you have the King Cerberus nunchucks, which allows Dante to use the power of hell-like ice and being able to create shields, freeze his opponent, and create ice vortexes. So, yeah, I think that really does cover Dante, scaling to demon lords who are able to create and split universes in two, creating whole other universes that are infinite in size. I think it is very safe to say here that we have our matchup here, you guys. You have two characters which are in the high complex multiversal, two possibly even hyperversal levels when it comes to their attack potency and their scaling. But who wins this more often than not? Now, Kratos' advantage here is that his weapons are more hack-based. He has more experience, and I would definitely say he's definitely the more skilled fighter. With him, again, having literally been alive since the early days of Sparta and actually training since he was a child, I think he does have a lot more experience than someone like Dante, which is, again, kind of simple and kind of easy to say here. Now, when it comes to their physical feats, I think these two are pretty close to each other. Dante being able to defeat demon lords or demons themselves, which are able to lift the entire underworld and destroy it, which is infinite in size with multiple forms of afterlife and time and space as well. With Kratos being able to lift the staff of Hyperion, which contains the weight of an infinite universe, or the infinite universe of the Greek pantheon. And then you also have him killing primordials who predate space and time. Yeah, I think these two are pretty relative, but if I had to give a slight edge to somebody, Kratos would be like slightly stronger. Not by too much of a noticeable margin, but again, he would be slightly stronger here. As for speed, yeah, I think Dante takes that. He's reacting to warp demons, which could like move at light speed very casually. You also have the sheer fact that he's been able to fight against Mundus in his void form, which is again infinite and endless, and has been able to react to it from all angles. So yeah, again, Dante should be able to take speed. In terms of durability, yeah, I think these two are equal. I think these two are pretty close here. And it's simply because their healing factors pretty much work the same here. You can't really stab these guys through the chest and expect them to die. They'll be just fine. I mean, it is what it is. Kratos stabbed himself with the Blade of Olympus, which was meant to kill him. Like, literally a suicidal moment. And he came back like it was nothing. Like, we see this dude chilling, having a family like nothing happened. If only they just left him alone. Yeah, I'm just saying. But when it comes to their weapons is where I think this fight is going to be decided. While I do think Dante with his weapons is a whole lot faster, and I think he would land more blows, I think Kratos is fast enough to land the blows that'll count. You see, if I gave Dante all of his weapons, it'd be a stump. Yeah, he has Alistair, the Lightning Blade. He has Quicksilver, Agni, and Ruda. He has Nevin. He has there's a whole lot of weapons. Like, this dude is packing. Like, he would overwhelm Kratos eventually. But again, standard gear, current standard gear, the updated versions of each other. I think that Kratos is going to have the weapons that can, actually count here. Now, yes, Dante can, deflect most of the spears and stuff. He can definitely contain, not contain, compete with the Leviathan axe and the blades of, chaos and stuff. But once that Blade of Olympus comes out, I think it's going to be a whole different ball game for him. Because again, the Blade of Olympus is meant to GG gods and their healing factors. The only reason why Kratos actually survived it is because it's possible that he absorbed the Blade of Olympus into himself unintentionally. And, obviously absorbing the power of hope as well here. But again, the reason why I would give it to Kratos is because he has more potent weapons. The Blade of Olympus is meant to bypass healing factors and the durability of the gods. And in all honesty, I think it's pretty simple here. Kratos would probably take it high to extreme difficulty, at least the first 5 times out of 10, while Dante would also take his fair share of 5 out of 10. But anyway, that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe, and share with your friends. Let me know who you think wins down below. Because, again, I think this is pretty close. But I'll see you guys later, and y'all have a blessed day. Peace.